Hey there, farm and garden friends. We're on our morning walk and talk on the back 40. What a wild morning it is. We had a major storm roll through last night, knocking down trees in the road. Curious to see what may have blown back out back. So we are on our stroll, coffee in hand, but that's not the topic of today. Now, I thought for the topic of the day to kind of piggyback off yesterday, which makes sense because we are getting into the heat of the season. Things may be starting to get a little out of hand. And that's to just have the concept of using your failures as fertilizer, right? Now follow me here. Now I want to applaud you for getting to the point of failure, because the reality is I've met a ton of people in my life who don't even try because they let the fear of failure stop them, right? So just the fact that you're out trying something different or trying something again and again and again, farming is a great example. Every year, every season should build off the last. So I applaud you for reaching any level of failure. Now that being said, you know I'm a believer of actually planning for some level of failure and then having a plan to take those failures and grow off them. Kind of think about it like this, right? I don't know if this ever happened to you when you were a kid, but it did to me and a lot of my friends. Out playing in the field, stepping in a fresh cow patty. Now that sucks. And it's a lot like the feeling you get when something doesn't work out just like you were hoping. Maybe you didn't produce quite as much as you'd like because the bugs got some. Maybe the weeds got a little out of control. I can definitely relate to that this year. But the key is to understand that it's just part of the process, right? So the initial failure feels a lot like stepping in a pile of cow shit. However, you take that same pile of manure and you pile it up and you let it rest, and it becomes very, very useful for your garden. Not only as the stink wore off, it's actually promoting and enhancing growth that wouldn't have been there had you not utilized the manure compost. Failure is the exact same thing. It hurts, it stinks when it first happens, but if you let it rest for a little bit, sit on it, when the sting wears off just a little bit, and make sure you take notes when it hurts. You can learn from it. You can reflect back, see what went wrong, work out a plan to avoid that on the next round, because you're not going to quit. You're just going to get better. You're going to learn, you're going to grow, and you're going to use that failure as fertilizer. And if you haven't picked up on it yet, you can actually utilize that in any area of your life, not just the garden. Looky here, we're just about to our half-mile mark. Man, did we get a gully washer. Holy cow. Wow. Yeah, we got one heck of a storm last night. We actually had a great big tree come down right across the road in front of our house. So the crews were out this morning, getting all that cut up and out of the way and cleared. That was a pretty good storm last night. But as you can imagine, the corn and the garden and everything else just loved it. Now, if you've been following along at all in this series, you know that I'm on a little journey myself, and I'm on day 28 of my mile walk every morning. I weighed in this morning at 145.5, which means I am down 10 pounds out of my 15-pound goal in 28 days. So that's where I'm at on that front. And that kind of fits today's topic as well. So there was definitely some failure involved, but now I'm using that as fertilizer and motivation to get a little better. So hopefully what you're getting out of this is that failure is not a bad thing. On the contrary, it's actually a good thing. You should be using it to help you learn and grow so you can grow more food and feed more people. So if you are still in the just thinking about doing something stage, just punch fear in the face and get after it. Failure is going to be part of the process, but it's a vital part in my opinion. And if you do it right, you can plan for it. So if you haven't yet, check out this video right here, and we'll see you on the next one.